A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, grand. I don't know where to start, but you can go through the news. I'll let you lead the news. Um, but I'm gonna put up. So we're live for the pre-show Shmi show again. It's good to be back.
Yeah, isn't it? It feels like longer than a week.
Yeah, it's been a long week in my world anyway, so it has felt very very long.
Yeah.
Um,
You sound so tired.
yeah, no, I worked 33 and a half hours. Um, I had my nana's 80th on Saturday,
Mm.
and I went out on Friday with wrestling friends. I met wrestling friends for the first time in a while, which was great for pints. And then last night I just got completely mentally drained. But like, just hey Nathan, what's up? Just if you look at my Instagram, I'm not gonna go through the story again, but like. Saw some pretty distressing stuff on the way home from work last night that just kind of mentally drained me.
Yeah, I saw it. That was rough. But
Yeah,
hey,
man. It
I
needs
don't know.
then. Hopefully, we can. Like, it was ironic that it was the day that we got the money donated to Jigsaw. I think we just.
Yeah.
I'm. If I do anything with like, if we ever make like a decent platform, we have a decent platform. But if we ever like get more eyes on the product, like promoting mental health is top of my list because Jesus Christ, we fucking need it. Like, it's like it's so overlooked.
Yeah, I think it's a within like it's I don't know. It's easy to point to like the government for underfunding it, which it
It's a
massively is. But I also think in Ireland, just as a culture, we're so not used or accepting about talking about mental health
it's a
until
generational
very
thing,
recently.
unfortunately.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
generational thing, unfortunately, and I don't want to hate on like, oh, you old people, you like, or like the people that are older than us, but like there just seems to be a complete disconnect between the views of mental health from like the
mm,
25 and under year, like to people 20, I say 25 and under, to like the people who are older and kind of haven't lived through the era where like your kind of strict Irish family would tell you like if you're feeling bad that you're like you just need to grow up.
yeah,
And I think that's like the problem. I think there was like it's something as simple as like workshops to educate people on mental health.
yeah. You're muted, by the way, Irene. Oh, he knows he's muted. Okay, excellent. Um, you're back. What's wrong? Is the mic all right? Mambo number 5. It's kind of nice having Rain be quiet. It's a nice change. Oh. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. It's a societal problem that we have to move forward with, and it's just going to take time. Like a lot of, I guess, the problems in the world, it's going to take a frustrating amount of time. But it's the couple generations below us that are going to see the benefits from what we do. It's our little cross to carry, all these little problems. But I don't know. And then we're able to get vaccines now. Mad scenes like 18 to 34-year-olds. We can like go to the pharmacy, get a Johnson and Johnson one. What are you looking at, Rain? I can't hear you.
I'm just trying to. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I'm just trying to sort out my mic. I think you know when those kind of USB ports kind of get a little bit bent and they start like getting really temperamental.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it for today. How am I sounding? Am I sounding okay?
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Yeah, we're gonna get into the podcast, so I'm gonna sort that out later. That's a later on problem. I'm sure I'll be able to sort something out. But yeah, no, I applied for my vaccine, so I registered. So I'm just waiting on a call.
Yeah, it's probably a good decision. It's almost weird that it took this long to make that decision, but hey, pretty happy with that. Should be cool. Should be out there soon. We'll be able to dine indoor, Rain.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. I can't wait to get a nice steak. Me and my dad were meant to be going. Me and my dad were meant to be like for my birthday last year, I meant to be on to like a 5-star golf resort where like I'd play golf.
Ooh.
He'd do like a spa treatment and then like get a 3-course meal, and that wasn't able to happen. But like that's gonna be able to happen soon, which is nice because I need a
Yeah.
breakaway. I need a mental break from work. Me and Kieran are working quite heavily now, so we're working boys. But yeah,
we'll get into the show now because we've got a good bit to talk about. Where I'm gonna take my I'm not the only one who was campaigning for it. My phone just fell, but the Hangman story is kicked into its kind of started into its next gear, and I cannot wait to talk about it. We've got a lot of news, a bit of a return, a bit of Money in the Bank talk, and so I think it's time to get into it. But before we get into it, just mind your mental health, do what makes you happy, and talk to people because the person I witnessed last night just needed someone to talk to them, someone to calm them down. So please just talk to people. And that's all we'll say about it because I don't really want to discuss it on the show. If you want to know what happened, just check over on my Instagram and share it around and try and get some traction on it because I think the government needs to see it, or just people need to see it in general. But yeah, Kieran, whenever you're ready, it's time to get into our show.
Hello and welcome to the Hallway Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Kieran Brennan. With me, as always, my co-host,
the man that Genetics forgot Rian. I really hope my audio is okay. Had to switch from the mic just because it's kind of there's a little bit of a USB issue, you know, when you have one of those little. Yeah. You always have with your PlayStation charge controllers. They really annoy you. It'll be all good. But hello, everybody. Episode 103. How are you, Kieran? How's things? It's kind of drizzling outside, but it looks okay. We always do a weather report. Looking okay.
Yeah, we had like nice weather for a while there, and then I booked in to like go to an outdoor pub or whatever on Sunday, so 2 days ago, and then the weather was just shit, like it was lashing rain, so it was a bit frustrating. But hey, you know.
Yeah, you know that's a perfect segue. Thanks, Kieran, for like teeing me up there because I was in work during that rain, and when you work in a shop when it's raining, no one comes. It's very, very quiet. So it was the day after my nana's 80th. We had a nice little party because she was vaccinated. We had like a kind of a gazebo at the back, and we had a really good time. And I got very drunk and hungover, and I was really hungover. And I was in work, and I found I was like cleaning behind the crisp pile because there was someone coming in to do like a kind of a see how clean the shop was. And I found €1, and I was like, okay, let's buy a €1 scratch card. So I bought a €1 scratch card, and I got a free ticket. And then I bought another €1 scratch card, and I got €2. So I bought two €1 scratch cards, and then I won a free ticket on one and €2 on the other. And I bought three €1 scratch cards, and on the third €1 scratch card, that round, €50.
And then you bought 50 scratch cards, right?
No, I saved them. I'm using it. I'm using it to get. I'm not. I've seen people. I've witnessed people in that shop, and that I've said this before. The lotto is one of the biggest addictions I've ever seen. Like genuinely, the lotto is just as bad as like drinking, and because fuck me, people will win like €50 and then buy like €50 worth of scratch cards, and you'll see them like shaking their head. When I'm emptying the coffee machine, the amount of scratch cards that are in there that just haven't won because people just chucked them in the nearest bin they could find is scary. So I took my 50 because like winning €50 on a €1 scratch card, winning anything on a €1 scratch card is rare. So I just took the money and run.
And you just kept getting winners, you prick.
I know, yeah. I don't know how. I kept getting winners. It was hilarious. But yeah, it was a bit of fun. It was just like it was a bit of an adrenaline rush, but like. Don't get involved. Like I understand. I was very, you know the way like you get that feeling for like 2 seconds. Oh shit! I understand why this is an addiction.
Yeah.
But then you're like, no. Behave. Like don't do that. You're a student. Fucking hell. Like I found the money. I didn't use my own money. So don't.
Speaking of that, there's also I think over the week there was a bit of a conversation online from at least what I saw about gambling ads and if they should be allowed to be shown. I think no. Don't fucking do that. So yeah, if you ever see a petition or some shit to like ban like Paddy Power ads or some shit from the TV because they are fucking everywhere, please sign that because it's horrible.
Do you know? Here's a recommendation. I know recommendations are like our last bit of the show, but there's a comedian called Lloyd Griffith. He kind of does a lot of sports stuff, but he's also a very good comedian. And he did a documentary on the BBC called. I think it's Never Bet Against the Bookies. It's one of the. It's along that kind of line, and it's just about like gambling and how gambling because he accepted a role in a gambling ad before and he got a lot of hassle for it because he didn't understand why gambling was such like a bad thing,
Yeah.
But it's such a good documentary. Like what were the example? Like they'll ban your account if like you win a lot, like win a certain amount. If you start winning, I don't know if you notice in gambling ads, the gamble is the big word and responsibly is a small word.
Yeah.
It's like that. It'll fucking prey on like. And then the biggest example of it was he showed how the only people who are able to beat the bookies. Have you ever heard about this? Tennis. So tennis matches. He did this. He met up with this guy who is famous for being able to beat the bookies. So tennis matches. When tennis matches are going on, if someone gets 50 in love,
Yeah.
when the umpire presses the button, that score goes into the cloud and then it gets distributed to all the tennis score, the live score apps like Paddy Power and in that split second, so basically you're on the phone at like some random tennis match, and he was on the phone to this guy, and this guy was at the tennis match, and you hear the rally going back and forward, and he goes 15 love. The umpire pressed the button. The split second, you put the bet on. He turned 50 quid into $6,000 in 3 hours, and could have gone on for a lot longer.
Wow.
Yeah.
We should get involved in that, Rain.
No, because
I think I'm going to take it back. I think gambling is actually pretty good now.
It's actually
changed me.
It's technically not illegal as well, but it's just it's like
a loophole or whatever.
They'll freeze your accounts. Like Paddy Power, they glorify accumulator wins as well. That's what I learned in the documentary as well. If you win an accumulator, which is like you put like 5 different football matches, you guess the score, and then you put like money on them all, or you put like an accumulator on like a boxing event. Like you bet on all the fights together. So if one of the fights loses, your bet loses. If someone wins that, they will celebrate it to the fucking moon. They will like, oh, look at this guy did amazing. Like for example, the night of the Euros, I don't know if you watch much of the Euros, Kieran, but there was Spain and Croatia drew 3-3, and then France and Switzerland drew 3-3. It was like a crazy night. 3 people won 14 grand by betting that both scores would be 3-3, and Paddy Power were like blasting it all over social media because they want you to do accumulators, because accumulators are how they win their money. If you put on a €1 bet and win a load of money, you've beaten the bookies. So just
fucking no one do accumulators because it's fucking stupid. You're an idiot if you do them. It's such a waste of fucking money and time. You'll never win.
I've done them with like spare change before in the past, like in terms of if there's a UFC event on and I've got like €2, I'll deposit €2 and just put like €2 on, but I'll never because I know like this sounds like the start of like every like this sounds like, oh yeah, you're only saying that, but I know for a fact that like I can control, like if I want, if I don't want to do something, I won't do. I will not be like addicted to it. I won't like. I have enough discipline to stop myself. Whereas some people, sadly, they just don't have that discipline. It's really sad to see. So just be careful. Be very, very careful. If you find yourself consistently spending money on betting, it's the start, and you can nip it in the bud very quickly by just not doing it. banning all your apps on your get rid of all the apps on your phone. But anyway, enough about betting. We've gone through that. But yeah, I'm 50 quid up. Wrestling. Man, it's been a very interesting week in the world of wrestling. But I think Zelina Vega deserves the opening to the news, Kieran. I think that was the biggest bit in news.
Back.
Yeah.
She sold out, Reen. She sold out. What a hateful woman.
I love Twitter. I love Twitter. I love Twitter being like, I thought she was going to unionize the business.
It's like, I don't know. It's like part of me is like, oh, well, that's a pity that she didn't like fully stick with what she has. But at the same time, she has a secure job and a paycheck, I suppose. So good for her. And I think it's really stupid to attack her for it, Also, her drama with Dave Meltzer now.
Yeah, Dave shooting himself in the foot again, it seems.
Calling her a fucking idiot. Or fucking stupid, I think it was.
Yeah.
What is wrong with this man?
I like him more than Brian Alvarez, but that's saying nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
There's a lot of things I like more than Brian Alvarez,
Yeah. I just think I just have no. Am I the only one who just has no interest in that? Like I can't. I don't want to pay for his fucking stuff. And he's just not my kind of like wrestling like content, if you get me. I much prefer watch Cultaholic, who had Evil Uno on this week for Straight to Hell, which was great. Ross and Evil Uno, watch that; it's really good.
I think he is more and more becoming extremely irrelevant because he's someone who is very. He's probably very clearly has a bias towards AEW, which I know is easy to say because a lot of people prefer the AEW product or whatever. But he clearly has a vested interest in that, and his slip-ups keep happening, and it's gotten to a stage where it's like, what are you fucking talking about, man? You can't like keep doing this. And he compared himself to, I believe in the clip where he calls like Zelina Vega is fucking stupid. He compares himself to the Kenny Omega of journalists in a way, which is so odd. I don't know. I think he's just as far as like a legitimate journalist goes, and like the wrestling journalist, which is what he was for a long time. I think that relevance has totally fallen. And I think his star ratings don't mean shit anymore.
Oh yeah,
like,
the new gen journalists are taking over.
I think the star ratings, especially, you know, they were always it's just one man's opinion, but now it's like you don't even see him being reported on because it's just so who gives a shit. Which match got 7 stars this week? You know,
I just it's so easy to say, but I just enjoy wrestling and I just watch it and I make my own opinion on it, and then I read if something is worth reading, I'll read it. But like listening to a man call you should never call someone a fucking idiot unless it's very, very warranted. And I didn't watch the
stupid, to be clear.
Sorry, fucking stupid. It's same guy. You should never call someone fucking stupid unless you have a really, really good reason. And I didn't listen to the whole clip, but I guarantee you didn't have a good reason.
It's because she said that not to listen to all dirt sheet writers or something about all dirt sheet writers, and he was like, you shouldn't generalize dirt sheet writers, and it's like, you shut up, Dave Meltzer. No one fucking cares. Why I don't know why you felt the need to go on a massive rant about this shit. Who gives a shit?
Oh man, it was so easy to just sweep it under the rug and just forget about it. I can't wait till Aleister Black is in AEW and he has to kind of just starts fucking sucking his cock.
I mean, will he go to AEW? Are they going to bring him back?
I think he'll if they don't bring him back, I could see him being like the way that Dark Order turned back around again and could do whoever the champion is, Hangman, against
Do you want to hear my conspiracy, Reen?
What?
And I've just thought of this right now because I'm in my head. I'm like, I don't like that they're releasing people and then bringing them back 2 months later. But now in my head, I'm thinking that they're kind of like fake releasing these people and then bringing them back just to kind of have a moment when they're like, oh, this wrestler's returned, but they always knew they were coming back. Because it happened to Samoa Joe. Now it's happened to Zelina Vega. And I feel like it's happened to 1 or 2 others as well in the last couple of years. And I find it really stupid. Yeah, Drake Maverick was a bit of an exception because he totally made that himself. But I don't know. Maybe it's because of that Drake Maverick situation that they're doing this. But it feels weird to me. Yeah.
I mean, the Samoa Joe stuff was good. The kind of Zelina Vega stuff, until she gets into a proper storyline, I don't think WWE have really dropped the ball on the main roster women's division recently. Apart from even the Bianca Belair stuff.
It's Bayley again, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
who wants to see that match again?
No, not me. Bayley needs to move to Raw and do something, and Bianca needs something that she can sink her teeth into. And then we have Sasha anti-vax. God knows what's going on there. But yeah, it's a really weird one to talk about because it used to be AEW was crap with the women and WWE are streets ahead and they're closing the gap now. And that was the only thing that's the only thing main roster WWE had over. It's going to symbolize in the ratings because their WWE's ratings are falling rapidly. Their Raw's in the 1.4 million.
That's mad, yeah.
Which is insane. They need something, and I know unfortunately, as much as it'll be cool, Brock Lesnar and John Cena are just quick plasters. They're not going to be there on a consistent basis. So as cool as it will be, they need to start. They need to do something, and I don't trust them to do anything. Hopefully, Zelina Vega can get a bit more. I doubt it. A bit more creative control, but not a chance. But yeah, it's a weird one at the moment. I don't know. There's not a lot of. It's so weird to talk about the main roster these days and try and like find positives. It's really really hard. Like you have to really dig for them.
Here's a segue positive, Reen.
Yeah, let's go.
Something a segment I've been enjoying over the last couple of weeks that I don't think we've mentioned even once. But it turns out Vince McMahon is also having a great time with the Eva Marie segments with Piper Niven.
Oh God, yeah.
Because of course he is. And it wasn't his idea. Apparently he, like a lot of fans, was pretty unsure of it at first, but now he's like really enjoying it. And he thinks it's really good. And I'm inclined to agree with him, I'll be honest.
Dewdrop. Sounds like a fucking French clown, like.
Oh, it's fucking great though. It's weirdly good, and Eva's like, she's a fucking good heel, and I really like her. I don't know.
Did you see last night? She was in a match, and like her account sent a tweet out, and someone called you, like, she really tweeted during the match. Like she really tweeted about winning during the match. It was like Eva and her social media managers.
That's fucking funny.
Oh
like,
man,
I don't know. It just works, man. It just works. I'm really liking her stuff, and I like Piper Niven a lot. I think she was in that like initial,
she was
UK tournament or something.
Yeah,
or the women's tournament. Yeah, the main classic. Go on.
She if she breaks away and becomes Piper Niven again, then yes, please.
I'm sure, there's no way this doesn't end in Piper Niven versus Eva Marie.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. And Eva Marie will get her ass kicked. But that kind of little bit of a segue. Bea Priestley, or should I say Blair Davenport, signed by NXT UK. Her vignette aired.
Ooh.
Her vignette aired this week. It seems like she is no longer associated with Mr. William Ospreay, and she is now NXT UK bound. So yeah, enjoy.
Is she still with Ospreay, or?
I'm not. It doesn't look like it, but it's hard to tell. Doesn't look like it. Ospreay's at home in England, nursing his neck injury, which is a tough one. But yeah, so she's now debuting on NXT UK. So we'll never see her again. R.I.P. in peace. But yeah, but yeah. What else is there to talk about on the news? Ladder match. We've the ladder match qualifications, but we could talk about it on the main roster. What else is there? Samoa Joe working as a WWE scout. I like that. I really like that. He's taken over the role of who had the role of. Oh yeah, there was a big controversy this week with Canyon Ceman, who is known.
Who's Canyon Ceman?
He's known as the head of recruitment in WWE. He was basically he's basically the reason why the European Indies don't exist anymore. I figured out through research. He's the one who kind of like was big part of the monopolization, taking all the big part of NXT UK and like taking everyone, and like scouting everyone. He was reportedly like fired. He's apparently an insufferable dickhead. Like there was a tweet out of like someone tweeted about him in the company, like just and it was like, who was it? If someone's on the comments can remind me, but someone tweeted about it, like tweeted so long and don't let the door hit you on the way out, and it was about Canyon Ceman. But then it was reported later on that like he had not.
His name actually is it? It cannot be pronounced Seaman.
It is, yeah. It's Canyon Ceman.
That's incredible. I wish my name was Seaman. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go on.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to kind of just get that over with.
I know. I'm sorry. It's such an obvious thing to point out, but it just I couldn't. I had to mention it.
Why did you wait on it for like just say it at the start? Like fucking hell.
We should be above that, Ryan. Come on.
Above that, definitely. But yeah, he reportedly been like it was bullshit. I'm not fired. I'm still here. And then everyone's like, oh. But Samoa Joe being a scout here, and that's like the man knows talent, and the man is talent. So he knows talent. And that'd be really cool. And he said he's going to return to the ring, which is going to be cool. So hopefully he can scout some talent and have a few matches with them. But yeah.
Who do you think he's going to fight? Presumably it's someone in NXT. Who?
Oh, it has to be Walter.
Oh, whoa. That would be crazy. I'd think Adam Cole.
Or Kyle. I like Kyle O'Reilly, Mesha Styles. Adam Cole could be. I still think Adam Cole and Regal would be a great story.
Yes,
I-
100%. That'd be fucking awesome.
I think
That's what I thought they were going for until Joe took over.
But maybe it's positioning it so that like Regal is now kind of a little bit free to do that kind of
Mhm.
stuff. Maybe it turns around like Regal wants to fight Adam Cole after like he gets the shit kicked out of him or something, and then the shoe's on the other foot, and Joe's like, "Do you really want to fight? Like, I don't really want to let you fight." But then like Regal like goes back into like because Regal was a machine. Like the fellow was great. So yeah, no, I'd love to see that. A little bit of wholesome news. Tegan Knox, you know Tegan Knox, Kieran.
Yes.
She had a Raw dark match. She had a little bit of a Raw dark match. She hasn't competed for a long time after the two knee injuries that have plagued her WWE career so far. But as we've seen, Triple H is a huge fan of her, and the most wholesome videos backstage after she tore her ACL, with Triple H being like, "It's fine." And if she gets on Raw, like no matter what story she's in, like she's from Wales, tore her ACL twice. Not many people. They must have big plans for her. If you don't tear your ACL twice and not get fired, there is definitely some love for Tegan Knox among the higher ups, and I'm really happy to see that.
I think Triple H is very protective of NXT. It's much more of a main roster thing to get fired over, you know, especially the women's division.
Yeah, I'm really happy because like she's a really good fucking wrestler.
Mm.
Like she was this might be a throwback for you, Kieran. I don't know if it triggers any kind of, but you remember WCPW?
Ooh, yes.
Do you remember
Of course.
do you remember a character called Nixon Newell?
I do. Was that
That-
her?
That's Tegan Knox, yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
weird.
I know, man. It's
Oh.
crazy. But yeah, no, it's great to see, and hopefully she kind of gets, because she's really, really good in the ring. She had a few good, like the War Games match. That Dakota Kai segment was fantastic. With like when Dakota Kai turned heel. But yeah, I'd love to see some like that'd be a cool injection of a new storyline. Get her on Raw, like just do something different and invest in a star. But yeah, I see a story here that says a 39 million euro dollar settlement agreed between WWE and investors in lawsuit concerning a Saudi Arabia deal. Great, they're going back. Can't wait.
Who are they going to drag out of retirement this time?
There's two people in the
There'll be an
comments.
edge match. We know
Right,
that, definitely.
If Nathan's still here, what is the big old man celebrity match going to be? Because Nathan always has a great mind for these things. But who is it going to be? Mansoor is going to do
Goldberg again. Would he come back?
Mansoor is going to do a promo again. He's in a storyline with Mustafa Ali that I'm quite invested in at the moment. It's quite good. But who is he going to bring out of retirement? Just the NWO. Just bring them out, have them beat a load of jobbers or something. It's a tough one. I don't know. They've kind of they don't have that many left.
Triple H. I'd love to see Triple H back.
Would you?
I love Triple H. Yeah, I'm a big fucking mark for him.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know what they do because like the Saudis are going to definitely do so because they were meant to be doing Tyson Fury against Anthony Joshua next month. They were building a stadium for it, so they're definitely open for business. So yeah, unless there's no more news, I think we can get on to some wrestling. Kenny wants to fight El Hijo del Vikingo, who's a guy making a lot of noise on social media at the moment. I've watched a lot of his matches, Kieran. He did a Hurricane Rana from the top of a pipe in Mexico. He's just insane.
Okay.
This guy isn't this. Look up El Hijo del Vikingo later. The man is mental. He's fucking crazy. It's so cool. And him versus Kenny will be really, really good. But Dave Chappelle versus Shane O'Mac in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, Dave Chappelle is Dave Chappelle is
now there's a match.
Oh yeah, because Vince. Did you see the photo? Was this?
Yeah, we live reacted to it last week.
Yeah,
with the Chappelle show.
The melting candle himself. The melting candle himself, Vince McMahon. But yeah, I think we're done for news this week. We've gone 30 minutes, so it's time to move on to some wrestling. Kieran, would you like to do AEW first and NXT, or would you like to do main roster first?
Let's go AEW first, because I know you want to talk about that Hangman Page storyline.
Yeah, we'll build up to it. We'll get into it in a minute, because the entire card for this show was fantastic. It was basically their final show in Jacksonville, and this was kind of the big kind of it was I've watched this a couple of times now because I just really enjoyed it, and it was kind of like that kind of thing. It's the last show in Jacksonville. It was to show how like that video package showed how where they were at the start and like where stars are now, and to see like some of the people on the show doing what they're doing. Fuck me, they've done a great job during this pandemic. Like I know I go on about AW, but they've fucking like invested in their stars and done a like. Everybody coming out of this pandemic has looking a lot stronger. Like every single person. There's no one who looks like weaker coming out of the pandemic. They've done a fantastic job. And it opened with the Young Bucks, who's sporting some nice mustaches, versus Penta El Zero Miedo versus Eddie Kingston. And Eddie Kingston and Penta beating the shit out of the Young Bucks. They were trying to Matt and Nick had the handlebar mustaches and stuff, and they were just like being like insufferable dickheads. And so the Good Brothers came out halfway like towards the end, and they got a distraction, but Brandon Cutler accidentally sprayed Matt in the eyes with the can of spray. And then out of nowhere, one of my favorite things in wrestling right now, the Elite Hunter Frankie Kazarian clothesline Brandon Cutler out of his shoes. Fucking killed the man he did with a clothesline. It was like unbelievable. And then beat the crap out of the rest of them and stood on the stage as Penta hit the Penta driver, and then Eddie Kingston hit the Hurricane, which is the big backhand to the face. 1, 2, 3. The Young Bucks have been pinned, and next week it's Eddie Kingston and Penta El Zero Miedo versus the Young Bucks in a Miami street fight for the titles. That's how you book non-wrestling, non-pay-per-view feuds. And as this whole pin was going on, Frankie Kazarian was standing on like the little ramp bit, like looking like throwing the cans at the Elite. Like I just love that like they ended his best friend's career and now he just wants to murder them all. It's so simple. It's like you took something away from me and I'm going to take everything away from you. It's really, really good. And Frankie Kazarian is just so good at it. And then we've got Eddie and Penta against the Young Bucks in a Miami street fight with the belts on the line. So fucking great way to start the show. And a great match. Fantastic match. We're building up to Ethan Page versus Darby Allin in a coffin match, Kieran.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, because Ethan Page wants to be the final nail in Darby Allin's coffin. And before I tell you what went down, what are your thoughts on kind of casket matches, coffin matches, and what do you think what do you think with Darby Allin? I think there's a lot of creative, like you got a lot of thoughts going on in your head about what they could do in like a Darby Allin coffin match. What would you like to see to like kind of make it like, I know they're all different, but like set it apart from like the WWE style coffin matches.
Can you really? I feel like I don't know.
Is it a kiss coffin? I don't know. But I look coffin spelled with a K. But that's probably a reference that I don't get. But Kieran,
it's Kiss the Band, surely.
Yeah, I'd say so. But but with Darby Allin, there's a lot of spots going through my mind, like coffin drop into the coffin.
Well, that's the obvious one, yeah.
Smacked with a coffin. But Ethan Page they've had a feud all over the indies. But Ethan Page could have cut a promo being booed relentlessly, which is great. It's showing that like his character's working. And he basically said he's going to be like the fight. He put metal in his elbow. He broke his head, and he's going to be the one to put the final nail in. Sorry, Nathan. He's going to be the one to put the final nail in Darby Allin's coffin. Then all of a sudden the lights went out. Sting comes out with dragging a coffin behind him. They show a video of Darby Allin and Ethan Page match torching the coffin. And then Darby Allin jumps out with a coffin and attacks Ethan Page and tries to rip his eyes out. Yep. And Page then gets on the mic and goes, "Oh, the match is off. The match is off." And he's like, "I'm not doing it. You need to sign a contract vowing not to touch me before the match. And maybe if you agree to these terms, we'll have the match at Fyter Fest." So it's been that's good storytelling, you know. Like they obviously saw that they like had like a full card coming up, so they were like, "Yeah, let's just move this match to Fyter Fest." Put in a simple kind of just like footnote on that for a bit, and then I'll do like a couple of segments. Jungle Boy, the first ever AEW competitor to 50 wins. He beat Jack Evans.
Really?
And he's 50 first performer to reach 50 wins. He put Jack Evans away, And then the Hardy family made their tried to attack, but then Christian Cage made the save and beat the shit out of Matt Hardy. So they're building to their match, and Jungle Boy has 50 wins.
That's a lot. Wow. You
Yeah.
wouldn't think it would be him, would you, at the start of the company?
No,
God,
but
good on
the
him.
man, yeah, and good on him. Yeah, he's got 50 wins and a hot girlfriend. Well done. But yeah, facts. But yeah, I'm liking the Matt Hardy Christian stuff. You know, either they're putting a star over or they'll have their own feud. It works for me. And yeah, I just really enjoyed. I'm looking forward to seeing what like Jungle Boy does next. Jericho's on commentary for the whole night, by the way. Like just great. He's very good on commentary. Then Andrade El Idolo challenged Matt Sydal to a match next week because he interrupted him earlier on. That's what we were expecting. Andrade said you versus Matt, me versus you next week. So Miami, we're getting Andrade El Idolo versus Matt Sydal along with the street fight. I'm not complaining. Then Kenny Omega joined because Matt Sydal, like, although he's not going to win, it's going to be a really good match because it's Matt Sydal. It's Evan Bourne basically versus Andrade, and I think Andrade's going to get the win, but I think it's going to be like because he hasn't wrestled for a while, so I think like 15 minutes knock a bit of rust off. Are you looking forward to seeing Andrade? Are you looking? I'm looking forward to seeing a non WWE heel Andrade in the ring here.
Yeah, let's see what he can do. You know, give him a chance.
Yeah.
Will this be Miro or will this be John Moxley? You know.
Yeah. Well, Miro. Well, or like original Miro. Yeah, I'll give you that. But now Miro now is fucking great. Just talks about having sex with his wife and God. But yeah, that's literally what his promo there. He's like, "Thank you, God, for my hot wife," in a promo. But yeah, here we are. Here we go. Let's have a good chat about this. Kenny Omega joined Tony Schiavone in the ring for a promo, and he like boasted about his win on Saturday and claimed he had no challengers left. He was like, "I've beaten the up-and-comer, I've beaten the best athlete apart from me, and I beat like I beat Jungle Boy." And he said, I'll be away for AEW for a while, but you can see me in other promotions defending my other belts. Don't worry, you can still see me." And all of a sudden, the Dark Order's music hits. And Evil Uno comes out like going Kenny, and he's fucking great. Like the crowd were going absolutely mental. And he basically just says, "You really believe there's no one left? There most definitely is someone left." And Kenny's like, "You guys don't even have enough singles wins. Who are you going to put against me? 5?" And he's like, "I'd beat 5 in 2 minutes." But yeah, no. And then he goes, no, none of us have enough singles wins. But he's like, but I think we all know someone who does. And the entire crowd just start chanting, cowboy shit. And then Hangman. And Kenny just goes, he doesn't even name him, which is perfect. He's like, whoever that is, if he's the same person that I think you're talking about, that guy doesn't have the guts. He's probably angry that you're even out here challenging on his behalf because he's too scared to fight me. And he said, "If you're done wasting my time, I bid you fair do. Goodbye, and good night, bang." And then later on, Alex Marvez is trying to talk to the Dark Order, and then Hangman Page storms into the room, and he's like, "What the hell are you guys doing? Like making a challenge for me? Do you think I'm scared?" And he's like, "Do you think I'm scared of Kenny?" And he's like, "Oh no, sorry." He basically goes, "Why'd you make a challenge for me?" And Stu Grayson goes, "Well, if you didn't want us to make the challenge, why didn't you stop us?" Which is just brilliant. This is so good. He's like, "Why didn't you stop us?" And he's like, "Yeah, do you think I'm scared?" And he's like, "No." Cabana was like, "I think you're scared of failure." And he's like, and Evil Uno was like, "When I lost against Miro, you held me up and told me that I was great." And he's like, "It's your time, Hangman. You need to take the next step." And everyone was just like, you taught us to believe in ourselves. It's time for you to do it." And then Alex Reynolds was like, "You've waited long enough. Your time. It's your time now. You've waited way too long." And Hangman just like stares into the distance, drinking his whiskey. Man, this is so good. and we're gonna get into it because Kieran's been talking about the stuff you see on Reddit, and I've seen the Twitter thread. Kieran, talk to me.
Yeah, the massive Twitter thread. It's like a lot of people saw it. I'm looking at it right now. 7.3 thousand likes, which is, for a small wrestling company, is a lot for just like a fan thread describing a fucking storyline. It goes on for ages. It's really long, but
Yeah.
it's really impressive, and it really does show that a lot of effort and love has been poured into the storyline.
Yeah, because he just has lost all his self-belief. He's the anxious millennial cowboy. He has a drinking problem. He doesn't want to join the Dark Order, but he's friends with them. He's taught them to like believe in themselves, and now he needs to believe in himself. And oh my god, the pop when he fucking wins. Like, jeez, I'm convinced that he's gonna kick out the Winged Angel. Like, and it's gonna be, the roof is gonna blow off the arena, and all. I think it's gonna be all out. I think they're gonna drag it out a bit for they're gonna their wheels in motion, but like that's their wheels in motion are like they're gonna have Kenny deny it. I'd like to see Hangman run the gauntlet of the Elite to get the title shot.
That would be a lot. Yeah, I mean they've done it this long pretty well, so
yeah, but
might
like
as well drag the payoff a bit more.
If they did it like every week, like they do, like he has to beat someone else because Kenny just refused to fight him, or Kenny refused it, and like because then we get Hangman versus Machine Gun, which is great. We get Hangman versus Nick, like Matt and Gallows. They're like the two weaker performers in that, but like in terms of like the singles rest matches, like Hangman versus those two will be pretty sick. But man, it's just like the mental turmoil and like how tastefully they've done it, and like he has just gone from being like the Roman Reigns, he got Roman Reigns, like original Roman Reigns, we have to say that now, to like being like just so fucking over. Like,
yeah, it's really weird to think about that. At like the start of AEW, he was seen as that guy who was being pushed when he shouldn't have been, and now look at him.
And that's why he doesn't want the title, because he's scared of failing again. This story goes all the way back to him and versus Jericho, where he failed and he doesn't believe that he can do it again. And now he just he lost all his friends and then he got befriended. It's just so good, and like I'm so glad that they've done that, and I trust them to kind of do this very well. Until like I just can't wait till like the promo, like the week before, where like he's. Like where Hangman finally, like I can't wait for the moment where Hangman finally believes he can do it, because I know they're gonna do a really cool segment for that, where like he like just buckshot lariats Kenny out of his shoes or something, or just beats the shit out of like all the Elite, and like it's just gonna be sick. But anyway, we're gonna be covering this until the podcast when Hangman, or the live stream, because we're gonna be live streaming pay-per-views, that when Hangman wins the belt. Holy shit, my house is gonna be really angry at me. But anyway. Miro defended his title against Brian Pillman Jr. Really solid match. And that was really good. And Brian Pillman Jr. and the Varsity Blondes are doing really good stuff. So yeah. Britt Baker and got powerbombed through a table by Nyla Rose after they beat Vicky Guerrero and Nyla Rose. Vicky Guerrero was in the ring. Rebel dislocated her kneecap. It like legitimately in the match, and so hopefully she's okay. But then at the end, we had a very good. Oh, we had an amazing Inner Circle promo, Kieran. Jake Hager's promos have improved. It was Jake Hager and Santana and Ortiz, and Santana's just so good. He's like, you got your hands dirty, and it's gonna feel that much sweeter when you have to scratch and claw, and we beat the shit out of you. And Jake Hager was like, you punched Malenko in the face. Do you really think that was a good idea? Do you really think that was a good idea? And then he was like, you're gonna have your snake in your corner. We're gonna have our dog in ours, referring to Conan after last week. So yeah, they basically, and then he did like the kind of the LAX catchphrase, and then it was like, you done messed up, like just like being like, you fucked up, and we're gonna beat the shit out of you. So next week it's Hager and Santana and Ortiz versus the Wardlow and FTR. with Conan in one corner and Tully in the other. Another great match I'm looking forward to. And yeah, the main event, Kieran, the big and hotly anticipated main event, the final main event in Daly's place. The Spanish God Sammy Guevara versus MJF. And this match was fantastic. MJF selling the knee. Sammy Guevara did I don't know if you saw it, you probably saw it on the internet, the flip to the outside, the flip to the outside, the kind of like the swanton bomb to the outside to MJF. Yeah. Really, really good. Fantastic. But Wardlow wiped out Jericho on commentary. Sean Spears smacked Sammy Guevara in the head with a steel chair, and MJF scored the tainted victory. So MJF was an insufferable prick winning at the end, but he was pretty battered. Like, he got his knee, like he sold the knee really well. Really good match. And then we ended the show with a goodbye Daly's Place video, which you'll find on the internet. That's absolutely fantastic. And Kieran, what do you think of what are your final thoughts on like AEW coming out of the Daly's Place COVID era and back into live touring?
As nice as it was, it's nice to go back to live touring. You know, it was a good setup, and it'll definitely be remembered as a weird era in wrestling. But I'm glad to be leaving it.
I think they made the most of it. There were some really cool moments. Like, it shows you, like, in that time we had Brody Lee debut. We had Brody Lee sadly pass away. We had FTR debut, and we had Matt Cardona in there. Like, we've had FTR go through 4 stories. We forget like how long this has been, like 16, 17 months. And you look at all the superstars. Jungle Boy looks amazing coming out of it. Sammy Guevara is fucking over his shit. Hangman Page has turned himself into like the one that everyone wants to see win the belt. Jericho was an insufferable dickhead, and now he's a babyface. Like, Kenny Omega is now back to like being like the cleaner Kenny Omega. The Young Bucks, we've got Gallows and Anderson. Sting's fucking in the company. Like, Jesus, they've done a lot. Like, they have done a lot. Big Show and Christian, Paul White. But anyway, we're gonna move on to NXT, but AEW summer is looking really good. Kieran, let's. I think the only place there in NXT, you watched it before the show. Thoughts, feelings, and emotions on the Mercedes Martinez getting knocked out in the match by Tian Sha's kick.
Great work from the ref. Really like on the ball straight away. Looked rough. Looked really fucking rough. Do we know if she's okay?
She probably concussion. I would say concussion, and like she probably has to go through protocols and stuff. But yeah, I'd say she'd be off for a couple of weeks. But like they'll probably just say like they're probably right. I don't know. Kieran's kind of saying no, but I think they're gonna write this into the storyline. I just don't think it's a very WWE move. Like I said to Reen just before we started, it's more of like an AEW thing to do, like the chairman Sean Spears. But I don't know. I think whenever this happens, do we just like to move away from it and not focus on the accidents? You know? Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I kind of see where you're coming from there, but they'd be doing well to do that. Kieran, Johnny Gargano is turning babyface and he's going for Cross for the NXT title.
Awesome. I love that. You love that, right?
Yeah, I do. No. It was okay. Like, it's all right. Like, he nearly got run over by a car. I wish it happened. But no.
Wow.
Like, Cross, I just can't invest in carrying Cross. I just, as much as I'm trying and people are saying he's good, I just don't see it. What am I missing, Kieran? I don't know. Can you put any like reason or explanation to why it's like he might not be working with some people like me? Because I'm not the only one who he's not working with, but there's a lot of people who say he's really good, and I'm like,
I mean, I don't really see it either, so I can't.
No, I just don't.
Just not for me or you.
No, but like Samoa Joe, like pulled like, oh, it was really cool. Like, Cross was nearly about to like run him over with the car, but then like Cross like drove off, and then looked down and like Samoa Joe had like Johnny Gargano by the collar. He like saved him.
Maybe it's because like we're used to having these higher caliber NXT champions for a little while. Especially we had Adam Cole for like ages, and it's just a bit odd going now to him.
Yeah, but anyway, let's see how it goes. Prove me wrong. Roddy Strong won, and The Diamond Mine got their first win, and Malcolm Bivens promised that this was just the beginning. Malcolm Bivens is really good. I enjoy his work. Cameron Grimes defeated Ari Sterling. There was a few debuts, and then LA Knight taunted him, and then Grimes challenged Knight to a match for the $1 million title. But if Grimes loses, he becomes LA Knight's personal butler. That's I enjoy Cameron Grimes a lot, but this whole personal butler thing is just another sign of like NXT has changed. You never see
it's very main roster. It's very Nikki Bella, Brie Bella feud, you know?
Yeah. Oh man, remember that? Fucking hell. Back in 2014. But yeah, no, it's just like kind of a sign of like, oh, this has changed. Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly faced off before their match at American Bash. And Cole brought up Cole, whose birthday it was this week. Brought up Kyle O'Reilly's wife. And kind of like talk, and Samoa Joe was in the middle of them. And he just basically like good promo. Joe was in the middle. Joe was like, "You touch each other, you're both dead." And Cole took a swing at Joe, and O'Reilly locked Cole in the heel hook. As like Cole was like tapping, and Cole was like, "Joe, get him off me, get him off me," and Joe was like, "No." And then he waited. He waited like a while for like him to break it up. One thing I do really like on NXT, Kieran, there was a face-to-face between Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher versus MSK. So they've got a match at the Great American Bash for the tag titles. And Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa were like, yeah, we're going to win this belt. Me and Toothless Timmy. I really like Tim Thatcher and Ciampa as like a pairing, Kieran. I think it's just really, really good. And MSK are kind of getting a bit heely. They slapped Tommaso Ciampa in the face, and they kind of tried to brawl. I just love Ciampa and Thatcher.
Yeah, they suit each other quite well.
Yeah, they're just both maniacs. Like they're just both like in character. Like they both like seem like kind of Thatcher less so. Thatcher's like that in real life. From what I've heard from like people who watch him a lot in Germany. But like Ciampa just seems like such a like loving family man, and then he just turns into this like maniacal psychopath. He can turn on the character so well. Probably, do you agree, Karen? Like that Ciampa, like even from when like he originally turned heel, he's like one of the best at just turning on the character when he needs the most.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Because like he can do anything. He can he's just crazy.
I guess it's something that he's just gotten used to over the last few years because it's been him on NXT for a long time, you know, like he's been doing this.
Yeah, and I like that he's like kind of he did the Walter match, which is great, and then he's doing like the tag match now, and I'm very, 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 very looking forward to that. And MSK slapped them, and then they brawled. So yeah, and finally, your new North American champion, Kieran. There's already a new North American champion. Isaiah Swerve Scott of Hit Row defeated Bronson Reed to win the title. We said Hit Row was something different. It was something good. They put the belt around him, Ken.
Yeah. Do you like that? Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Bronson Reed being like the transitional champion, but it has to happen to someone, you know. If it's a heel winning, it's got to be a babyface on it. And like, he had a Bronson Reed had a dark match, on Raw. Yeah, he's going up. Great.
Are you happy with that or worried about that?
He's a big man on the main roster. Like they're really good. Vince does something like one good program with them where they're like, oh my god, look at his strength, and then like sooner rather than later he'll be like mid card fodder.
Keith Lee style.
Yeah, well, Keith Lee. There's been stuff going around about Keith Lee. I don't know where he's been at, but hopefully he's all good. Him and Mia Yim have been treated like kind of strangely in the last few weeks. But anyway, so there was a lot of distractions and Swerve hit the 450 splash to win the title. So yeah, NXT was decent. AEW wins it for me, but NXT had a few good progression. We got 2 great cards coming up this week. I'll read out the Great American Bash card first. And then I'll get the the Dynamite Road Rager in Miami. We have. I'm looking for the card now. So we have Pinnacle, FTR and Wardlow versus Jake Hager, Santana, and Ortiz. We have the street fight between Eddie Kingston and Penta and the versus the Young Bucks for the titles. We have Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander versus the Bunny and the Blade in a mixed tag match. And we have MJF and Jericho will meet face to face. MJF explained a promo that if Jericho wants one more one-on-one match, he'll need to agree to certain stipulations. Do you remember what the last time when MJF did stipulations, Kieran? It was the Cody Rhodes belt whips. So Jericho's going to have to jump through hoops to get his match. So this should make. What do you think? Oh, I'm really looking forward to that. That's how you kind of drag out a storyline to like a perfect kind of. Like having Jericho babyface with MJF healing it up with a little bit of comedy spliced in, I think this could be really, really good because that's some fantastic segments.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. What would MJ, like, just off the top of your head, what do you think like one of the stipulations is going to be? Like just anything cool, because it's Jericho and MJF. There's going to be something that we're like, wow.
I feel like the whips could come back, and that could be like one of MJF's like things or whatever, you know, like or the lashes or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah. Is there anything that
Personal butler?
No, don't do that. Is there
I feel like they could actually do that as well. That seems like something that they would try and have fun with.
Maybe face like Wardlow in a cage again. Or like, yeah, I don't know. There could be, there's going to be some good stuff, and then we obviously the Ethan Page and Darby Allin and the Coffin match is off, but yeah, that should be really good. And then obviously Great American Bash, Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole, MSK versus Timothy Thatcher, Zoe Starks versus Zoe Starks and Io Shirai got a tag title shot after winning the Fatal 4-Way. And Sarai, the newest signing, asked for Tony Storm, and Rigo said we'll see. And I think that match has been confirmed. So let's move on and finish off this podcast with main roster talk here. And Money in the Bank is shaping up. What do we?
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm glad. I'm expecting to be, like, you know, the way you just. It's going to be a nice card, but like there's going to be some really nice matches on it. But you just hope that they kind of they finally built to something decent. Hopefully they book it correctly. Like the Miz TV, Morrison, and Ricochet stuff. I know they're both in the ladder match, but I'm just not interested in like the kind of the water gun shit. I don't know what's going on there. We have where we go for Edge. Thoughts on Edge, Kieran? Edge is he admitted that his disappointment with the way WrestleMania went, then listed the number of complaints he had about like the main event triple threat match, and he said he's going to beat Roman Reigns. How do you see this one going down, man?
Well, I presume Reigns is going to win. It feels like they're kind of trying to elongate this Reigns storyline to SummerSlam or to wherever. I assume they have an ending to this plan. Maybe that's a bit generous of me. But I think they are trying to fill in time, and I'm looking forward to that match 100%.
Yeah, I think
I don't know. Where's it going?
I think Seth Rollins is going to cost Edge.
Yeah, okay.
Match. He nearly paralyzed Edge a couple of years ago. All he needs to do is come out and say, "I want to finish the job," and there you've got a storyline. Like it's quite simple.
Is there pay-per-view between Money in the Bank and SummerSlam?
Extreme Rules, is it? Is there Extreme Rules? Yeah. But like maybe you could have like Seth Rollins with many lackeys. Damn it. Could have fought when I think Edge. I don't know. Yeah, this is weird because Edge is back, and like I don't think he'd go away and then come back again. He's back for the long run now. He might get Roman twice, maybe, and then Rollins. I'm not sure. But we talked about the Corbin stuff. Like we'll go back to Edge and like the main, because he was in the main event segment. But you talk about like the Corbin stuff and like the kind of how he's really sad now and they've trademarked Happy Corbin and Shinsuke is now the king with Rick Boogs, who's really, really good. Kieran, Happy Corbin, what the hell is this?
I don't mind it. I think it's a bit of harmless fun. Well, it's not fun at all. Actually, it's a weird depression storyline, which is very odd. I don't know. I feel kind of bad for him, but it's different. It's different from regular Corbin. I think I'm definitely happy that if they're just fully dropping the King Corbin gimmick, fucking good. Let it die. They use that for so long, but I don't know where this is gonna go. I like Baron Corbin. He's okay. Yeah, he gets hated on a bit much, but whatever.
I really like Rick Boogs. I think he's great, and like he just has like just charisma coming out of his arse. And Shinsuke, like this isn't a Shinsuke we know and love, but he's making the most of it. But yeah, Bianca, Kieran, remember we were talking about like Bianca being like one of the best things about the women's division. What's going on, man? Like this Bayley stuff is going on far too long. There's an I Quit match going down.
It's very much the usual, women's feud post WrestleMania that goes on for way too long because main roster like women's divisions aren't fleshed out enough yet. Yeah, and it's I don't like it because I don't like Bayley in the ring.
No, I Quit like we've seen it. We've seen it too many times.
I think it's like we've said. Have we? I feel like we haven't seen an I Quit match in WWE in a while, or we didn't for a while. Anyway.
In WWE, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's like we've said before. They don't know how to book a face champion post Mania. They cannot do it. They don't know
how to book a face champion in general.
Yeah, it's very frustrating when you see someone like Bianca Belair who's super talented, and they just don't know what to do with her.
No, it's kind of frustrating. When you're like a passionate wrestling fan, when you see stupid basic mistakes, you feel like you want to pull your eyeballs out. It's just like it's that feeling of like there's so much talent here. What the fuck? But hopefully once that I Quit match is over and Bianca wins, which she should, she can move on and they can find something for her. But Kieran, what is there to say about this main event that hasn't already been said about these two? Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens in a last man standing match. Unbelievable.
Yeah, of course. What do we expect? Of course it's going to be a great match. I think Kevin Owens even tweeted about it beforehand, just being like, "Look, we've done this loads of times, and it's going to be great. So you should probably watch this match."
Yeah, and Kevin Owens took the bat through the table, superplex from the top rope. Zayn shoved on KO up. KO set up the tables and he went through them. Shocker.
Calm down, Reed. That's just a basic wrestling thing. It's not it's not an offense.
No, but like on commentary when Kevin Owens went through the table, it was like Kevin Owens goes through the tables that he set up a ringside. I was like, yes. I was like, bingo card is done. Fucking wrestling fucking cliches. Can't wait till rubber matches next.
Rubber match.
Yeah, but Kevin Owens winning. I thought Kevin Owens was going to be taking some time off. So Kevin Owens winning. I kind of wanted to see Sami Zayn in the match. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to see Sami Zayn in the ladder match. I hope he gets in. I don't know if he can, but don't think he is. That's the only thing I'm annoyed about. But he won with an apron powerbomb. Sami needs to stop taking that apron powerbomb. Sami, that apron powerbomb just looks grim. There's no way that just doesn't look grim. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that apron powerbomb. But anyway, I really like it, but I'm not a fan of the fact that like people have to take it because it just looks like it would fucking shorten your career. But SmackDown was really good. Zelina Vega returns, beats Liv Morgan. She is now in the Money in the Bank match. Kieran, what do you think about Zelina Vega in the Money in the Bank match? I think one positive of that is, I think just when you have someone who like is kind of very quick and kind of elusive. I think a ladder match kind of suits it perfectly. I think they could do some really cool spots because there's not many people who are like that, like Zelina Vega's size and can do a lot of the stuff that she can do, and as quick as her as well, as we've seen in like feuds with like Andrade and like Aleister Black. I think they could do some cool shit in this match.
Yeah, no, 100%. I don't know. Good wrestler. I like her. I do a lot. So looking forward to that match.
Yeah. Then we had Jimmy Uso made his way to the ring. Jimmy Uso is now fully on board with Roman. Jey Uso's been off for a while, and he called out Edge. He said Roman isn't here tonight, and Edge said, what happened to Jey Uso? Where did his backbone go? When did he become one of Roman's bitches? Edge claimed Reigns like laid the perfect trap. Edge attacked Jimmy and like beat the shit out of him, and then he got then Jimmy fought back with like a super kick, and then Jimmy got caught in the crossface, and then put the remember the bit of chair over Jimmy Uso's face and had the hold, and so basically the show ended with Edge maniacally choking Jimmy Uso with the chair, saying "I don't stop."
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to get Edge over as like just reinforce the fact that he's an absolute psycho like bastard, yeah, having him do that shit is the way to go. I don't know how they book this, but they need to be very careful because this could turn from an interesting storyline into like just meh with one bad mistake, and I just hope they don't do it. They just need to keep the edge that Edge has on. Very not one you want to say when you're very tired. And like kind of, I think the Seth Rollins storyline is the only one that I'd be remotely interested in. I know a lot of people aren't fans of Rollins, but like him in that kind of situation with Edge, and then have Roman have Cena, which I hope happens because that'd be very interesting to see after the promos that they did. But yeah, that could be a real like they could have like 4 main event worthy matches on that SummerSlam card if they play their cards right, and if Brock answers his phone. But yeah, SmackDown was very, very decent. Mustafa Ali and Mansoor are really good. Oh, here we go, Kieran. Do you want to know what you have on the we got to wrap the final thing we're going to talk about, Kieran? We're not going to talk all about Raw, but we gave it time. Drew McIntyre is now talking about that his sword is from the teeth of a Loch Ness monster.
Oh, I love it. I fucking love that. Okay.
He cut a promo being proper Scottish, and then Jinder Mahal. They're doing Jinder versus Drew, Kieran.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to do
it great. We've been asking for it for so long.
Jinder cheated, and then like beat down Drew, and took his sword. So, what are your thoughts, and what are your like finally before we leave? What are your thoughts and kind of expectations for like a Jinder versus Drew feud?
It's fucking great, isn't it? I really like that they're finally doing this. People have been asking for it for like a weirdly long time. It probably wouldn't have suited main like championship feud or whatever. But I'm happy that it's just like a regular, nice feud. Give it to me. Give me a Heath Slater cameo as well, please. That would be lovely.
He's signed to Impact and he's got a hernia.
Hey, Impact wouldn't say no, would they?
Yeah, a bit of money. But Drew is probably going to cost Money in the Bank by Jinder. But anyway, yeah, we're both. I'm going out. Hopefully the weather clears up. I'm off to get bubble tea, which is going to be fun. I like bubble tea. It's very nice.
Fancy.
But anyway, Kieran, any recommendations for this week before we leave?
Luke, did we recommend Luca last week? I can't remember. I think I may have.
You did, but double recommend. Isn't that, you can't recommend
Yeah,
something.
Luca's fantastic. And then another thing I saw was Shiva Baby, which is on Mubi, which is like a new one. No, maybe it's not new. I don't fucking know. A new movie streaming service. It's a bit awkward layout or whatever, but really good movie. Really good. Shiva Baby. It's only like 77 minutes long or some shit as well. So it's very short.
Check it out. I've been watching a lot of Love Island because I'm I'm like the rest of the nation. I'm hooked on it. I don't know why.
It's dumb.
It's so hard. It's so hard to explain, but I just hooked on it. Buy 1 year of scratch cards. Don't. But yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't really have anything to recommend. Just take care of your friends, and are you okay twice rule, as I said before. Make sure that everyone's okay, and make sure that we stem the flow of like people feeling like there's no other option left, because there's services out there. We need to fund them, and we need to help people. Your best mental health service are your friends, so just talk to people. And yeah, that's it. I have been Ryan, and it's time for Kieran to take us home.
Yes, well, this has been the Hallway Wrestling Podcast. I've been your host, Kieran Brennan. With me, as always, my co-host,
the man that genetics forgot, Ryan.
And as we say at the end of every episode of the Hallway Wrestling Podcast, support your mental health services, please.